we will see large numbers of poor people and specifically blacks going to jail and to prison, and they will not have a chance.
I'm here outside of the Calvary Rescue Mission. I just pulled up and I'm getting ready to go in and do an interview with the director, Mr. Dennis Rutledge. Just getting a little footage of the outside of the building and everything that they've got going on. So I am going to conclude this little video, and then I'm gonna go in and we'll see if we start that interview and we'll go from there. All right, see you inside. Hello, YouTube fam. It's time for another video. I'm here with the director of the Calvary Rescue Mission here on South 3rd, Mr. Dennis Rutledge. Mr. Rutledge, first I'd like to start off by thanking you, first of all, for your service to the homeless.
Oh,
It's a real big deal. And also for taking the time out of your busy day, because I do understand it's a busy day.
it is a busy day. It's a busy time of year too.
Yes, sir.
But,
Yes, sir.
So I love to tell about Calvary, so
yeah, so
and I look forward to the opportunity.
thank you. And I don't take it lightly. I thank you for taking this time out. Just want to ask a few questions, go over a few things, and take a quick tour of the facility. First of all, I want a little history on the mission itself.
Okay.
When exactly was it started?
Calvary opened its doors on April 1st, 1967.
April 1st. Wow.
And
Okay.
it was founded by Milton and Betty Hatcher.
Okay.
Milton had been a barber in town, but he was also a terrible alcoholic. He had a terrible drinking problem. And when he got gloriously saved, he knew that God had something for him to do. He just didn't know what it was. And he told his wife that he was going to go in their shed and pray about it until God told him what he wanted him to do. And 2.5 days later, he came out of the shed and told his wife that God wanted them to open a rescue mission so that he could help men who were like him, who were addicted to alcohol and need to get off of alcohol and get on to Jesus.
Wow.
So the very first place they opened was in North Memphis. Gradually quickly outgrew that place, moved to another site. The funny thing about the first place they opened, when you're trying to get people off of alcohol, typically you want to be as far away from alcohol as you can possibly be. But the first place Milton opened was right next door to a bar. It shared a wall with a bar. But Milton had a plan. He had he bought a sound system and he turned the speakers against the wall. So each night as he gave the gospel message to the men that were in the shelter, the men in the bar also heard it. And a lot of nights they got up off their bar stools and came into the mission to hear God's word.
Wow.
And then moved several times. Ended up at 960 South 3rd Street in 1972. And we were in our old building, an old church building, which, by the way, was First Assembly of God Church, which was from 1947 to 1953 was where Elvis went to church.
Okay.
A local PBS station says that it's the first place Elvis ever sang in public, but we don't have any way to prove it. But of course, nobody can disprove it either. So we take that as part of our history. And we were in that building until 2018 when we moved into our new facility here.
Awesome, man. I tell you, like I said, like I told you when I met with you last time, I remembered this mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember coming, and I remember the hospitality, and I remember the good food and everything.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and that really did. I actually put it on my book, and I'm gonna go back. I didn't want to be late. I pride myself on being prompt, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get a couple of my books and give it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
You mentioned the good food. Barry, when I first started working here, Barry warned me that now don't eat every meal here at Calvary. You end up with a Calvary belly. In other words, you're going to gain a lot of weight. And sure enough, I did. It's been a battle getting it back down.
Yeah, I know. Especially the older you get, man. Yep. How long have you been in the field?
I started in 2006. Started as a volunteer. Um, my son and I had been on a mission trip to Guatemala, and the third night there, all of the fathers on the mission trip had to explain why they were on that particular mission trip. And I explained that my wife and I had put together a list of things we wanted my 12-year-old son to experience before he became a teenager. And one of the things was that mission trip, and that I had intended the mission trip for my son, but God intended it for me because it had really changed my world. After that meeting that night, one of the guys on the trip said, "Tell me more about this journey that you got your son on." My son's 7 now, but that sounds like something I want to do with him when he's 12. And I told him some of the things we had already done. And I said, now when we get back, the first thing I want to do is I want him to serve a meal at a homeless shelter, because I want him to understand that there's great need overseas, but there's just as much need in our own backyard if we just open our eyes to it.
Exactly.
And he said, boy, have I got a deal for you, because I serve at Calvary Rescue Mission the second Thursday night of every month. And next month you're going to come with me and give your testimony. I said, whoa, wait a minute. No. This is for my son. I want him to serve. Well, he can serve, but you're going to give your testimony. And I came down here expecting to find guys like you see on TV or that you see on street corners begging for money. The clothes are nasty. They look terrible. And what I found when I got here were men who were just like me, only something took them down a different path in their life.
Right.
And I fell in love with the place, and I've been here ever since. I finally started, I went that first time, and then I kept coming back, and then I finally got a night to where I came on a monthly basis. And then I had a couple of nights that I came on a monthly basis. And I was hired, I was put on the board of directors, served there for several years. And then in 2017, they hired me full-time as assistant director.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
And now I'm the director.
Congratulations, you deserve. And my next question was going to be why did you get in this field? But you pretty much covered that.
Well, and the crazy thing about it, I wasn't prepared for this field.
Right.
I was a firefighter for 40 years.
Wow.
Served 20 years as chief, and so everybody here knows me just as chief. It's a whole lot easier to remember than remember my name.
And it sort of fits though, because the thing that they always say about firefighters, that when everybody else is running out, firefighters are running in.
Well, that's true.
And with recovery, even once you've recovered, you have to go back to get the people that's left behind. Once you are recover from it, then you want to go back but you have to be careful, because I've seen a lot of people try to go back too early, you know.
Oh yeah.
And that was when I wrote my book, that's what I did. The reason I made it fictional is because I could tell such a wide range. Mm-hmm. And I did stuff like that where, I had the character where he went back too early, and then he ended up slipping and things like that. But that's a real part of it. And it's funny that you said that, the first place that this shelter was next to a bar.
Yeah.
Because when I got sober, the building belongs, it's down on Peabody, it belongs to Synergy. It was right across from a rooming house.
Oh.
Right across the street from a rooming house. And it was a drug spot. Yeah. And so many folks went over there and just never came back.
I had a good friend. He and I were doing the Celebrate Recovery classes together. And he told me one night that, he said, it's been a long time, but I think I can handle a glass of wine now. And I said, well, one thing I want you to remember, for people like you who struggle with alcoholism, one drink is never enough but it's always too much.
Right, exactly.
Because it takes you right back down that same path.
And they say you'll be hollering, pour me, pour me another drink.
And I see men so many times who come in here and stay sober for 30 days and think they're ready to face it again. You're nowhere near ready.
Nowhere near ready.
No.
Nowhere. And this presently is all male. Have they ever explored or all thought about maybe an all female?
Well, there are several all female facilities here in town. Problem is, there's a waiting list for the women to get in.
Yeah.
And I try to encourage people who are or thinking about opening a shelter. I try to encourage them. Man, we need some female shelters.
Yeah.
But it's just so difficult to open a shelter and to staff it because you don't need men staffing it.
Right. Exactly.
Things could go wrong.
Right. And I mean, and women deal with so many issues. I mean, just you can remove the homelessness, remove any mental illness, remove drugs, and they already deal with a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you add that, it's like, wow. And then, like you said, men don't want to staff. You don't want men to staff it because that throws a totally another layer on it. So yeah, and that is bad. So
and I often tell people that when they ask about female facilities, the saddest part of it is a man will always take a woman in, but the price she has to pay is way too high.
Exactly. It's always ulterior motive.
Yeah.
It is. He'll take them in
sad
quick.
Thing to say about our society, but it's true.
Take them in quick, but it's ulterior motive.
Yeah.
You really, I mean, it really is, man. And how many people does this facility house?
We can house up to 100. Right now, we're averaging. Well, it's hard to average. It's about 70 guys a night here, so
about
we're almost 3/4 capacity.
Oh, okay. And do you ever get full? Maybe around the winter, you probably get full.
Well, just before COVID hit, we were averaging 90 guys a night. We could only house 100, so we were pretty close to maxing out. And COVID hit, and our numbers dropped to 50% capacity. Most of the guys didn't want to be in a large crowd.
Okay, I guess. So since COVID, it's been actually a downtick.
Well, it was down, and now it's building back up.
Oh, it's building back up, so it's an uptick back into it. And I see the construction out there. What is that building?
That's our brand new chapel that we're getting ready. That is under construction right now.
Awesome.
Prior to COVID, once our numbers got up to 60 and 70 guys a night, we could no longer meet in the chapel in our old building.
Okay.
Because the chapel was so small. So we started our chapel in the dining room. But now we're getting our chapel built and getting it back in there. I miss our chapel so much because when we had the chapel, I'd go upstairs 20 to 30 minutes before chapel time, and men would already be sitting there reading their Bibles or praying and getting their hearts ready to hear God's word. And now we bring them in to eat dinner at 5:30, hurry them up. You got to get out so we can get it cleaned up, and bring them back in at 6:30 for chapel. And there's no time to prepare their hearts to hear God's word.
Exactly. But it's coming along. It's coming along. Oh, it's coming along. Okay. So can you just talk a little bit about how it works? I know that you actually do sheltering.
Yeah.
But you said like the guy that I talked to coming in, he's been here a long time. So you got some people that are long time tenants. How does that work? How is the infrastructure? How does that go? You bring them in.
Yeah.
How does that process work?
Well, our daily process is the guys check in each day beginning at 3:30. up till about, up till 7 o'clock. Nobody comes in after 7 o'clock because we want to be sure that we believe that the most important thing that we do is have our chapel service.
Okay.
And if you miss chapel, there's no reason for you to be here.
Right.
So the guys check in each day between 3:30 and 7. Dinner is served at 5:30. Then chapel service at 6:30. After chapel service, and it usually lasts about an hour. Once chapel service is finished, they have free time till 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, the lights go out. Everybody is expected to be in bed and go to sleep. The lights come back on at 5:30 because breakfast is ready. Everybody's invited to come eat breakfast and must leave by 6:30 in the morning. We expect the men to either be going to work, looking for work, or finding something productive to do. Because if we let them stay in, they'd watch TV all day and never get anything accomplished. We want them to we want to help them be productive again.
And I actually did an interview with a guy. I think I showed you his picture, and one of his things was about he was like, why would you charge a fee to the homeless, somebody who already ain't got none?
Mm-hmm.
And now I had a theory, and I told him my theory, but what would you say is the purpose for that fee?
When someone first comes here, their first 3 nights are free. After that, it's $5 a night. And the $5 doesn't come anywhere close to covering what it costs us to keep a man here. It costs us more than $20 a night per person. But what it does is it gives them a sense of responsibility, a sense of pride in that I'm paying my way. It gives them a sense of ownership. I paid for my space. And if they can't come up with $5, they can always go by the hospitality hub, who, as long as they're working to improve themselves, the hospitality hub will give them vouchers for free night stay. Okay. If, however, they're unable to get the $5 or the voucher to come and stay for free, they're welcome to stay in and do some chores. We don't have a cleaning service. Right. We have men who stay here who clean the floors, they clean the bathrooms, they keep this place spotless and do a great job of it. And in return for that, they get free days. I looked on the books yesterday, and there's one of our guys has stayed in and worked so much that his stay is free all the way to the end of the year right now, and that's for 5 months away.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's how you earn.
Yeah,
I mean, that is earning.
We want them to do something to earn it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's awesome right there.
See, the biggest thing we want to be is a hand up, not a handout. Anybody can be a handout. We want to be a hand up. We want to get you back into the society as a productive member of society.
And that is close. That is close to what I actually told him too, along that lines too. And I think that a lot of the guys, or people in general, the ones that are on the are struggling from substance abuse. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of them stay out because of that 7 o'clock cutoff.
And I meant to tell you, that's a lot of it. And I meant to tell you that I was expecting to see people like you see on street corners holding signs that are homeless. The vast majority of those people aren't homeless. They're looking for their next fix. They're not looking for something to eat. Right. I like to carry around a bag with a sandwich and a bottle of water in it, and hand them that instead of handing them $5.
Exactly.
If you give them any money, you're enabling their habit.
Exactly. There you go. And see, that was the reason I asked you about those vouchers. That's why I wanted. I'd rather, if you said that you're trying to get money for a shelter, I'd rather pull up a voucher. Yeah. If you say you're hungry, I'd rather either do like you said, give you a bottle of water and a sandwich, or walk you in here and said, okay, what do you
order
want?
What you want?
Yeah. Because I mean, it is a true fact that when we're out there and we're doing that, we're very slick. Yeah. We will play on people's sympathy, and people act on their emotions, and they try to say, okay, if I was in that position, I would want somebody to help me. Well, if you were in that position, you'd probably be doing the same thing they're doing, when a lot of it is manipulation.
I had a guy
And-
one night that I offered. I had just picked up some food and had 3 pork chops in the carry out box, and I offered it to this man that was begging, and he said, "Man, I don't want that. I can't buy a beer with a pork chop." Okay, well, have a good day. Thank you.
And I remember the first time I seen this guy, and I thought it was clever, and it was a little funny, but no, I can't get you. It was like, why lie?
Yeah.
I want a beer, you
Yeah.
know, and I said, well, that
At
is
least
clever.
he's somewhat honest.
Yeah, you honest, but no, I can't get you.
Yeah.
You know, because
I'm not going to support your habit.
right, exactly. We don't do them any good at all. I mean, we don't. And I do thank you. I thank you for the interview. I definitely want to take a quick tour. I'm
Okay.
pan around and get a shot of in here. Just one question. As far as this center, do you guys help them with like resumes or
Oh yeah.
any different
Yeah, we
things
do.
like that?
And we post a job list on the board, a new jobs list every week of jobs that we're made aware of.
Okay.
But in this room, we do. There's 4 different classes we do during the spring and fall. We have Discipleship 1 and Discipleship 2. Discipleship 1 is for new Christians. Help them understand, okay, who's God, who's Jesus, who's the Holy Spirit, and how do 3 make 1. How do I read my Bible? How do I pray? Help them with those kind of things. And then Discipleship 2 is a little more intense. It's they have to memorize the books of the Bible in order.
Right.
There's 22 verses that they have to memorize, part of which is Romans' Road to Salvation, to help them lead someone to Christ.
Right.
They have to maintain a prayer journal and a reading journal that they're reading the Bible every day. They have to develop their testimony and be able to give their testimony. And once they complete all of that, then we give them a certificate and put their name on the wall, having completed discipleship too. We also do Celebrate Recovery classes on Wednesday nights, and then on Thursday night we do a faith and finance program. Many of these guys have never had a bank account, don't know how to open a bank account, don't know how to write a check.
Exactly.
A lot of them have never taken out a car loan and don't know how to do so, don't know how to buy a car. So we try to teach them those kind of things biblically. And we always refer back to, and God needs His tithe. Everything you have is a gift from God, and we're to give our 10% back to God.
Exactly. All right. I know you got not jumping ahead, but I know you got like a clothes closet.
Yes, we do.
and I know you guys need food. If somebody wanted to donate, like to your clothes closet,
Yeah.
they bring it here?
Sure. They can bring it here to our front door. Just ring the doorbell, and we have some guys who will come out and get it. If it's food items, we hope we won't be able to during construction, but we always like for them to pull around to the back door and ring the doorbell back there, and then we have guys in the kitchen to pick up those donations.
Okay. And it was one of.
We also need toiletries for the guys.
Okay.
All sorts of soaps and shampoos, and we go through an awful lot of that.
Okay.
When you got 70, 80 guys here every night, we require them to shower every night. We go through a lot of toiletries.
Okay. And definitely one thing I will say is, especially with the clothes closet, because I've seen it. If you guys donate, please make sure they're nice clothes, gently worn, and please don't go get your grandfather's World War II jacket. Even though it's nice, you probably want to give it to a museum.
Yeah.
Because I actually saw a guy one time. I'm thinking, like, where did he get this jacket from?
Yeah. We do accept used clothing, gently used. It's got to be clean too.
Exactly. Yeah. You want.
But the one thing we don't accept used is socks and underwear. Those
Right.
have
Exactly.
to be in
That
the
should be
package,
new.
off the shelf.
Yeah. And I just wanted to make sure that, so if you have any donations, by all means, and I will make sure that all of that is in my comments where they can
Okay.
bring it, because I think it's very important. And like I always say on my channel, I'm trying to build relationships
Yeah.
to you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
have people to bring it, to bring things that people need, and help programs like this. When you get a chance to see my channel, the last one I did, they was talking about the thing in Grants Pass, and it was a county over. Now they're arresting folks in one county, a county over. They've all they got like something like this. It's like a parcel of land where they got them. It's tents here. Then they
Mhm.
transited them to tiny houses, container houses,
Yeah.
and finally they try to get them to do, like get their own houses. And some of the houses look like what they have over at the hospitality hub,
Yeah.
and things like that. So that's
I tell you, a lot of people would be surprised at how many people are homeless and living on the streets every night.
right, exactly.
I had
In their
no idea.
cars.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's a big
Yeah.
one. I see a lot of parks and parking lots where
Right.
there's a car there all night that leaves early in the morning.
Right, and
Guys are sleeping in their cars,
yeah, and have
men and
nobody-
women alike.
Yeah, I mean, even their kids, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have students
yeah,
that
yeah.
are homeless.
yeah, and I always say it's not your problem until it is, and then
We estimate
it
in
makes
Shelby
sense.
County alone, there's over 2,000 people sleeping on the streets every night.
Wow.
If you look under bridges, you can see evidence of where they are.
Yeah,
Bridges and overpasses, there's a lot of places where people are,
and
and you
then
never notice them.
the most you have to worry about now is like mosquitoes, and that's bad. But mosquitoes and stuff like that, not to mention the dangers, but not downplaying the dangers,
Yeah.
but being uncomfortable with mosquitoes and stuff.
Yeah.
But when the cold comes, man, that it gets very dangerous.
Yes, it is. It's really dangerous.
Yeah.
And the extreme heat, it's
Yeah.
dangerous.
The
when you're
extreme heat.
in
Yeah,
the heat all
it
night.
is. Yeah, it really is. Well, I do appreciate it, Mr. Rutledge,
Sure.
and we're gonna go to the second half. I'm gonna stop it for a minute, and then I'm gonna pan around, and I guess we'll just walk around and take
Okay.
a quick tour. I'll do some filming in here, and you just walk me around, and tell me what everything is.
Okay.
This is the what is it called, Miss?
Education Center.
The Education Center.
And you'll notice the computers around here. We've done job fairs in here and health fairs. We've had events where the men were able to apply online and get hired on the spot.
Wow.
It's just been a real treat. Some of the computers have been used for guys to take college classes or finish high school classes.
Awesome. Anything that anybody may have out there that can help? Printers, not too old, not anything that wouldn't be useful, but anybody looking in the organization that would have anything to help. Anything helps, and of course, like I said, the address will be there. You can always bring it and donate it. So, all right, we can go to the next one. Okay, we're going on to the next one. This is the site of the new building right out here.
Well, a new chapel's going to be.
The new chapel's going to be there. They've already broke ground, so that's the next. All right.
Go to the clothes closet.
Going to the clothes closet. I was actually impressed with the clothes closet like it is, but I'd like to see it even better.
And Mike's here too.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Mike. Are you Mike?
That's Mike.
Hey, Mr. Mike. How you doing? You don't mind me filming you, do you?
No, not at all.
Hey, Mr. Mike. I do a YouTube channel, so I'm just filming. Wow. That's a nice clothes closet. This is the clothes closet at the Calvary Rescue Mission. If you guys have any gently used clothing for men of all sizes, something you like to get rid of, go ahead, Mr.
If you notice on our pants rack, we've only got 3 pairs of 34s, and there's no pairs of 32s or 30s. We're just completely out of those sizes.
Okay, 34s and 32s are in big demand. And you know that I remember when, well, that was a while ago, but I remember when I was 32, I could never find 32. And now it's sort of easy for me to find my size now. I'm bigger. All right, that is awesome. And like you said, 34s and 32s on the pants, but you know, any other things, jackets, any other generally used clothes you like to donate?
And down the hall here, we have a laundry for the men to use. We have our staff laundry where we wash the sheets and towels, but we also have a laundry for the clients that for them to wash their clothes.
All right. Awesome, awesome. All right. So here it is. You have like a laundry room. That's awesome. They can come in and do their laundry, dry. Also, he was talking about toiletries. So if you got any type of laundry detergent or anything of that nature, towels which are new and things of that which you want to donate, then that would also be a great thing that you could donate.
Then we have our courtyard out here where a lot of the guys like to sit
and that's the courtyard out there.
Enjoy the outdoors.
Where they sit. Awesome. How are you, sir?
I'll show you the pictures in the dorm. Some of the guys may be in there showering. But each dorm, we got 4 dorms. Each dorm houses 26 guys. And then they have a dorm monitor in each dorm that takes care of the men that are in there. They're issued or assigned a locker and their bunk. And we've numbered the lockers and their bunks so even I can find them.
Right.
This is dorm B, bunk number 4, bottom bunk and top bunk. It just makes it simple for all of that. There's 3 sinks, 3 to 4 showers, and 3 to 4 toilets in each dorm.
Awesome.
For 26 men.
Right.
And then down here is our dining. Well, before we get to that, here's our job list that we put up each week. That's for this current week.
Awesome.
And then our dining room is right here. And for some reason, the TV's on and nobody's here. Mute that. There. And I'll show you our pantry back here. There's a nice big dining room. We had this place filled last night with the men and the youth mission group.
How you doing, Chef? All right, you doing okay? Awesome.
And then this is our pantry.
All right.
You notice the nice big cans down there on the bottom shelf.
Yep.
It's so much nicer when you're cooking for 60 to 80 men a night to open a few of those big cans than have to open so many of the
smaller cans.
One of the things I'd like to point out in here is that stovetop stuffing up there on the top shelf. There's 2 outreach programs that we do for our neighborhood. The 38106 is one of the poorest zip codes in the entire country. The median income is lower than 99.2% of all zip codes in America. So most of the people in this neighborhood can't afford doing a full Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
So every year, the day before Thanksgiving, we have volunteers who come in and we prepare 400 to-go plates. We call it Feed the 400. We do 400 to-go plates and then fan out into the neighborhood with turkey and dressing, candy, yams, and mixed vegetables in there with a roll. And so many of the people are so thankful that the day before Thanksgiving, they start gathering at the library up there around lunchtime because they know the
Is it at the Gaston?
That's where we start.
Yeah, okay.
And then we fan out into the neighborhood.
Right.
We also give them a gospel track in those. And then the second Saturday of December, we have our Calvary Children's Christmas celebration where people donate brand new toys still in the package and unwrapped so we can tell age and sex. And we fill how many bags we get. How many toys we get. We fill enough bags to distribute to kids from South Memphis. We put new toys in there, activity books, school supplies, coloring books and crayons. We put a Bible in each one of them and a couple of gospel tracts in there. We put some, if we get enough donated gloves, warm gloves and knit caps, we put those in there. And then we have a local company that gives us a pallet full of candy. So we fill the bags up with candy for the kids to take home as they leave. We have a lot of people donate bicycles, and we'll give away 35 to 40 bicycles to the kids that come that day. We've had as many as 800 kids show up, and we never know how many are coming, but God always supplies exactly what we need, and we don't end up with an overabundance. We always have enough.
Right. Okay. Awesome. And y'all see what we need. Bigger cans. The big cans are better.
We're running real low on canned vegetables right now.
On big canned vegetables. I'm sure the little cans, if you got them, are good. But if you got the big cans, donate the big cans. They're a lot better.
And cereal.
Yeah, and cereal.
We always need cereal.
And things like that. I'm sure condiments. Whatever you have, that make sure it's still in date and everything. Just think about if you or your family were receiving it or eating it,
And we also give them a snack each night after chapel, and we're always low on snacks.
Right, and snack food. All right, I like this. All right. Then they have the kitchen. All right, then. I do thank you, Mr. Dennis. I thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
I guess that's going to conclude it. And I'm going to do my best to try to send some stuff your way and do what I can because, like I said, I appreciated when I was here. So, and I'm trying to build relationships where I can push different things in different places. Because it's more than about the people that you are serving. It's about the people who are serving y'all too. So, all right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.